They say blood is thicker than water. It is the most brilliantly toxic lie society has ever invented. They feed you this lie from the moment you are born, to ensure that you remain a loyal, obedient slave to the people who are quietly destroying you. You sit there in the dark, staring at the wall, feeling that incredibly sharp, suffocating pain in your chest. The pain of being completely rejected by your own family. The people who were supposed to protect you. The people who were supposed to be your sanctuary. But let's look at the reality, not the fairy tale. Were they ever truly a sanctuary? Or were they just a beautifully decorated cage? You felt it, didn't you? The subtle, passive-aggressive remarks at the dinner table. The constant, exhausting comparisons to your siblings or cousins. The way your massive achievements were met with cold silence, while your smallest mistakes were celebrated like a festival. You were not their child. You were their emotional punching bag. You were the convenient mirror they used to reflect their own pathetic, deep-seated insecurities. Let's dissect the profound hypocrisy of family loyalty. They demand your absolute loyalty, your time, your money, and your sanity. They expect you to bend backwards, to sacrifice your own dreams, just to maintain the fragile illusion of a happy family. But the moment you set a single, reasonable boundary, the moment you say no to their toxic demands, what happens? The mask completely slips. They don't try to understand you. They don't respect your growth. They immediately turn into a pack of vicious wolves. They gaslight you. They run smear campaigns behind your back. They paint you as the selfish, ungrateful villain in their pathetic, twisted narrative. Why? Because manipulators absolutely hate the person who points out that the ship is sinking. They would rather drown comfortably in their toxic patterns than face the brutal reality of their own dysfunction. And you? You were the glitch in their matrix. You were the one who refused to drink the poison and call it medicine. Do you want to know the shocking truth about why they rejected you? It is not because you are broken. It is not because you are unlovable or unworthy or damaged. They rejected you because your sheer potential absolutely terrified them. Your light was brutally exposing the dark, moldy corners of their own stagnation. When a person who is destined for greatness is born into a family of mediocre, fearful people, the family will subconsciously try to destroy that person. It is a primal, psychological defense mechanism. If they can keep you small, if they can keep you doubting yourself, then they don't have to face the agonizing reality of their own wasted lives. Your ambition was an insult to their laziness. Your authenticity was a direct threat to their carefully constructed lies. They didn't reject you. They rejected the incredible, terrifying future they saw when they looked into your eyes. They rejected the mirror that showed them exactly what cowards they truly are. Society tells you that you must forgive them, that you must be the bigger person and keep the door open. What a pathetic, self-destructive piece of advice. Forgiveness without changed behavior is just an invitation for more abuse. You do not owe a relationship to anyone who consistently treats your soul like garbage, regardless of the DNA you happen to share. DNA is just a biological accident. It is not a lifelong contract for psychological torture. You have to mourn the family you never had. You have to hold a funeral in your mind for the parents who couldn't love you properly, for the siblings who secretly wanted you to fail. Bury that desperate, childlike hope that one day they will magically wake up and apologize. They will not apologize. They will go to their graves fiercely defending the toxic narrative they created about you. And you must be completely, chillingly okay with that. This rejection, this brutal, heartbreaking severing of ties, it feels like an execution right now. But I promise you, with absolute certainty, it is the greatest liberation you will ever experience. When the people who are supposed to hold you down finally let you go, there is absolutely nothing stopping you from ascending to the throne. You have been granted a clean slate. You are no longer bound by their generational trauma. You are no longer required to carry their heavy, suffocating expectations on your shoulders. You are free. Terrifyingly, gloriously free. But freedom is cold. It is isolating. It requires you to step into the dark and become your own protector, your own provider, your own God. You must take all that fierce, protective loyalty you wasted on them and redirect it entirely onto yourself. You become the architect of your own bloodline, a bloodline built on iron, resilience, and unapologetic power. Let's talk about the concept of the black sheep. They called you the black sheep because you didn't blend in with the flock. You didn't blindly follow the shepherd to the slaughterhouse. But what they don't realize is that the black sheep is actually the lone wolf in disguise. You were never meant to graze in the pasture. You were built for the wilderness. Your entire life up to this point has been a rigorous, brutal training simulation. The psychological warfare you survived at the dinner table has trained you to spot manipulators from a mile away in the real world. The emotional starvation you endured has made you entirely self-sufficient. You don't desperately crave validation from the crowd because you learned how to survive without validation from your own mother. You are a highly lethal, completely self-contained unit. And now that the training wheels are off, the world is about to see exactly how dangerous you truly are. There will be moments of intense, agonizing doubt. The silence of the holidays will try to crush you. The sight of other happy families will feel like a knife twisting in your gut. In those moments, your mind will play tricks on you. It will urge you to pick up the phone, to send a text, to apologize for things you never even did, just to end the heavy isolation. Do not touch that phone. Do not break the perimeter. You are going through withdrawal. You are detoxing from years of emotional poison. The pain you are feeling isn't the pain of losing them. It is the pain of the toxic trauma bond breaking apart. Endure the withdrawal. Sit in the fire. Let it burn away the last remaining traces of your weakness. Because if you reach out, if you let them back in, you are volunteering to climb right back onto the cross they built for you. This is your awakening. The ultimate realization that you are the master of your own fate. The blood covenant is broken. The cage is completely shattered. You are standing in the wreckage of your past, and it is entirely up to you what you build next. Will you spend the rest of your life crying over the ruins? Or will you use the heavy stones of their rejection to build a fortress so massive, so incredibly intimidating, that they couldn't even dream of approaching the gates? You are not the victim of a broken family. You are the sole survivor of a toxic regime. Wipe the tears from your eyes. Straighten your back. Let the cold, dead indifference wash over you. They rejected you. Fine. Now, you make them regret the day they ever underestimated the monster they helped create. The game changes exactly right now. So, what happens when the dust finally settles? What happens when you actually build that massive, impenetrable fortress out of the heavy stones of their rejection? I will tell you exactly what happens. You become incredibly, undeniably successful. You find your true power, you build your wealth, and you establish a life that looks like an absolute masterpiece. And then, the most predictable, pathetic phenomenon in human psychology occurs. They smell the success. The very same people who violently threw you to the wolves, the family members who laughed at your dreams and treated you like a burden, suddenly, magically, remember that you exist. They will try to crawl back into your life, but they won't come back with genuine apologies. They will come back wearing the incredibly toxic mask of family. They will casually reach out as if absolutely nothing happened. They will say, "We miss you. Let's let bygones be bygones. After all, we are family." Do not fall for this disgusting, manipulative trap. Let's translate their sudden affection, shall we? When they say, "We miss you," what they are actually saying is, "We miss the immense power we used to have over you." When they say, "We are proud of you," they are really saying, "We are ready to claim credit for the success we actively tried to prevent." They do not want to heal the relationship. They want a VIP pass to the empire you built completely without them. They see your resources, your peace, your high-value energy, and their parasitic instincts kick into high gear. They believe that sharing the same DNA gives them an automatic, unconditional right to feast at your table. This is the ultimate test of your new reality. If you open that heavy iron door even a crack, if you let guilt trick you into giving them one more chance, they will completely infest your life and drag you right back to the bottom. You must protect your empire with lethal, unapologetic force. When they finally show up at your heavily guarded gates, demanding entry because of blood, you are going to do something that will completely shatter their minds. You are going to look them dead in the eye, and you are going to feel absolutely nothing. No anger, no bitterness, no desire to scream or explain how much they hurt you. Just cold, heavy, terrifying indifference. You will look at them not as your parents, not as your siblings, but as absolute strangers who are violently trespassing on your property. And you will say a single, devastating word. No. You do not explain the no. You do not justify the no. You let the heavy silence of that no crush their ridiculous entitlement. Watching a manipulator completely break down because their ultimate trump card, the family card, no longer works on you, is a masterpiece of dark psychology. You have completely neutralized their greatest weapon. Let's talk about the generational curse. For decades, maybe even centuries, your family has been passing down a heavy, invisible baton of trauma, toxicity, and mediocrity. They suffered, so they made you suffer. They failed, so they fiercely needed you to fail. It is a pathetic, endless chain of miserable people creating more miserable people. But you? You are the giant, unmovable iron wall where that curse violently crashes and dies. You are the one who said, "It stops with me." You took the heavy hits. You absorbed the brutal rejection. You walked through the isolating fire so that the poison wouldn't infect the next generation. Do you realize the massive, godlike power in that? You are literally rewriting the history of your bloodline. You are the dark architect who burned down the haunted house and built a titanium fortress in its place. They hate you because you proved that escaping the curse was always possible. They just lacked the absolute spine to do it themselves. You must redefine the entire concept of family. The dictionary definition is a biological accident. The dark psychology definition is a carefully curated circle of absolute loyalty. True family has absolutely nothing to do with genetics. True family is chosen. It is the people who stand fiercely by your side when the entire world is burning. It is the people who respect your heavy boundaries without question. It is the people whose presence elevates your power instead of draining your spirit. You do not inherit a family, you build an army. And in your army, blood does not grant you a rank. Respect, loyalty, and mutual evolution are the only currencies accepted. The moment you violently separate the word family from the word DNA, you strip your toxic relatives of all their remaining power. They are no longer your family. They are simply people you used to know. Let them watch you from the outside. Let them scroll desperately through your life, completely locked out of the castle, watching you thrive in ways they cannot even comprehend. Let the heavy, agonizing realization slowly sink into their bones that they had a titan in their hands, and they threw it away for absolutely nothing. You do not need to seek revenge. Living a massive, completely unbothered, wildly successful life is the most terrifying psychological revenge you could ever inflict. They will have to live the rest of their pathetic lives with the ghost of the incredible relationship they destroyed. They will have to whisper your name in dark corners, knowing they can never, ever speak to you again. Your absence is the heaviest, most brutal punishment they will ever endure. And you? You won't even be looking back to see if they are crying. Let them watch you from the outside. Let them scroll desperately through your life, completely locked out of the castle, watching you thrive in ways they cannot even comprehend. Let the heavy, agonizing realization slowly sink into their bones that they had a titan in their hands, and they threw it away for absolutely nothing. You do not need to seek revenge. Living a massive, completely unbothered, wildly successful life is the most terrifying psychological revenge you could ever inflict. They will have to live the rest of their pathetic lives with the ghost of the incredible relationship they destroyed. They will have to whisper your name in dark corners, knowing they can never, ever speak to you again. Your absence is the heaviest, most brutal punishment they will ever endure. And you? You won't even be looking back to see if they are crying. So, to the chosen ones who were betrayed by their own blood, hear this one final, absolute truth. Their rejection was not a tragedy. It was a divine, violent rescue mission. It was the universe forcefully removing you from a room that was far too small for your massive soul. Stop looking back at the burning bridge. Stop mourning the illusion of people who never truly existed. You are the lone wolf. You are the architect. You are the undisputed master of your own reality. Lock the iron gates. Secure the perimeter. Look out over the incredible empire you built with your own two hands. Let them stay in the mud where they belong. The blood covenant is permanently broken. Now, step into the dark and rule.